Welcome to Cool Guy Podcast,
the foundation of the great city of Singapore.
Okay, let's dig into the blueprint for engineering a modern marvel. We're talking about Singapore.
Right. A city-state that in 1965 was, a resource-poor, overcrowded port.
And today, a GDP per capita over 125 times higher. It's an almost unbelievable story of success.
Well, what stands out immediately in our sources is the sheer desperation of their starting point. It was a failure waiting to happen.
Dependent on another country for half its water, 14% unemployment.
And 3/4 of the population living in squalor. The mission wasn't prosperity, it was pure survival.
So to do that, they adopted 3 radical strategies all at once.
Yep. Institutional stability, aggressive physical expansion, and just relentless technological innovation.
Let's start with that foundation, institutional stability. The government immediately focused on attracting foreign direct investment.
Which means low taxes and an absolute non-negotiable war on corruption.
And for you, the listener, who hasn't encountered this system, how truly radical was that anti-corruption policy from the CPI?
It was ruthless. They understood that institutional trust was their only competitive advantage.
Their only real asset.
Exactly. With no natural resources, their primary product was a safe, transparent, rules-based environment. That iron discipline paved the way for foreign capital.
Capital they immediately reinvested into their people through housing.
And this is where the model gets so unique. They didn't just build housing, they engineered a social contract.
Through the Housing Development Board, the HDB, it's built 1 million flats, housing something like 80% of resident households today.
And it was backed by the Compulsory Central Provident Fund, or CPF.
Which mandates that a huge chunk of your wages be saved.
And then those funds are used for housing payments. This wasn't charity, it was mandatory stakeholding. By giving 80% of citizens a mortgage, they literally bought national stability.
Which then allowed them to pivot the whole economy from low-skilled labor to high-skilled sectors like aerospace.
And that's why Singapore now ranks second globally for ease of doing business. It all connects.
But all that stability is worthless if you don't have enough physical space or water. How did they solve that immediate geographical crisis?
They planned 40 years ahead. Agencies like the Urban Redevelopment Authority, the URA, physically changed the map.
They literally added land.
Through extensive land reclamation since 1965, they've added 23% to their land mass. That's creating a fifth of your country from nothing.
That engineering scale is just monumental. You see it in a place like Marina Bay.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just stunning architecture.
No, it's a 247 precinct where essential services, power, transport are all buried underground, planned for the next 50 years. They're even exploring air rights, like building over roads.
And that desperation for space translates directly to water. The water treaty with Malaysia expires in 2061.
So self-sufficiency by 2060 isn't a goal, it's a deadline.
An existential one. Our sources detail these massive investments in large-scale desalination, like the CITYIES plant using reverse osmosis, and new tech like electrodialysis.
That relentless focus on existential challenges really pushes us into Pillar 3, innovating for the future city.
Right, because when you import 93% of your produce, you don't have a choice. Land scarcity forces you to become a global leader in food tech.
So you get controlled environment agriculture. Vertical farming.
Exactly. We're seeing companies like Sustain Air growing strawberries indoors, no soil, no sunlight. They're turning old industrial buildings into high-yield farms.
And this high-tech approach bleeds into daily life.
Wow.
We're seeing projects on personalized nutrition.
Where wearable tech tells a 3D printer what food to create for your exact caloric needs. Imagine that for seniors.
We're also seeing urban air mobility emerge. Airbus's Skyways project is testing drones for cargo delivery.
Literally taking traffic off the congested roads and into the sky.
And it all ties back to livability. Their vision shifted from city in a garden to city in nature.
Proving that you can have extreme density and greenery coexisting. They're restoring nature into the urban fabric.
So what does this all mean? Singapore was strategically engineered through this unique combination of, ironclad governance and a national focus on ingenuity.
They created a future city by solving problems decades before they could ever become a crisis.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Singapore's success was built on stability, planning 4 decades ahead, and, sometimes controversial, highly disciplined policies.
Which raises an important question for you, the listener. Does the city-state's extreme reliance on long-term planning, social engineering, and tech solutions offer a blueprint for large, complex nations? Or is it a model that's only really possible for a small, manageable city-state?